Hello everyone, today we're going to find the slope using only a graph. Well, if you guys want to remember what a graph is or slope is basically finding the inclination of a line. The line could be going downhill, uphill, a lot of ways. Well, let's go back to middle school, guys, and let's remember that slope is actually the rise over the run. How high, how low, or how left or how right the line is going. And in high school, we call this actually something else. We call this the delta y over the delta x. And this little triangle, again, is called delta. And it's actually the Greek word, Greek for change. In other words, how much change is happening on the y, how much change is happening on the x. In a graph, remember the x is always the numbers left to on the side to side, and the y are always the numbers up and down. Well, let's find the slope with these points. First of all, my points right here, my x is -3, you see? -3, so my point, remember, it's always x and y in that order. This is -3, and my y will be, what is it, guys? You guessed it, it's +3. So using that knowledge, this one will be -1, this will be +2, this will be 1, this will be 1, and this one over here will be a 3. And since the graph is not going up or down, in this point right here, that will be 0. Okay. With this information, guys, help me find the slope from this point to this point. Here we go. Let's start over here, guys. How many times do I have to go down? Look, I was at -3. I'm going down to positive. I was a +3. I'm going down to +2. So I really went 1 down, correct? I went 1 down. Well, now that we went 1 down, now let's figure out how many we have to go side to side. In this case, we do have to go to the right. So in this case, we went from -3 to -1. Look, let's count them. 1, 2. We went 2 to the side, to the right. 2 to the right. Now, remember, if we're going down, that means it's negative, remember? And if we're going to the side, look, numbers to the right, they're always positive. Numbers to the left, they're always negative. So since we went to the right, that's a +2. Finally, let's use this formula, guys. My y goes on top, so I went 1 down, which was a -1. And I went 2 to the side, which was +2. So my answer is really a negative divided by a positive is just a -1/2. Now, I know you might be wondering, Mr. Milano, but what happens if we want to go the opposite way? What happens if we want to start over here? Well, simple. Let's try it. Let's go this way, guys. Well, I still went 2, but since I'm going 2 to the left, that's a -2. And now if I'm going 1 up, well, that turns that into a +1. So once again, still the y is always on top. So that's a +1 over a -2. Well, what's a positive divided by a negative? Still negative. So did my answer really change? Not at all. You just have to stay consistent. And I know some of you are still going to wonder, Mr. Milano, but what happens if you pick different points? Well, let's go and check it out. What about we stay with this point and we go all the way over here? Well, let's try it. Once again, I got to go rise over the run. Rise over the run here, guys. Well, let's find out. I went how many down, guys? That's my y. That's my y. From 3 to 1, I went 2 down, which makes that a -2, correct? And from -3 to +1, let's count them. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4. I went 4 to the right, which makes that a +4. So here we go, guys. Rise over the run. If I went 2 down, which was negative, and I went 4 right, which was positive. Well, negative divided by a positive is still negative. But guys, 2 divided by 4, can I reduce that to show still 1/2? So as you can tell, guys, my answers are always going to be the same regardless of what point I pick. Hey, what's my perfect square here? Rectangle. Come on, give me a perfect rectangle here. There we go. My answer is always going to be the same, regardless of what points I pick. And that's how you do it.